A wise man is not showy about his wisdom. He guards it carefully. He is silent when he comes to a stranger's home. The wise man seldom wanders into harm, for you can never have a more faithful friend than a good supply of wisdom.
I have lots to say about this one.
Perfect.
The first thing that comes to mind is that old, like that wartime saying, loose lips sink ships. So the idea being is you never want, particularly among people you don't know, you never want to show your full capabilities, because holding that back, it means you know something that they don't, and they're operating from a place of ignorance if they're trying to harm you, because you don't know, if they're a stranger, you don't know their goals, you don't know what they're trying to do. There's also some humility in that you're not just sort of needlessly showing people up with like how smart you are, and no one likes know-it-alls and all that kind of stuff. We all find those people annoying. It's sort of that idea that you just don't want to be that way. The other thing, it made me think of The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and I wrote down two verses from one from book 1 and one from book 3. And the Art of War, I probably have all heard of it, but it's basically instructions for how to manage war and conquest and that kind of stuff. But I remembered this fairly famous part of The Art of War where Sun Tzu says, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. And it made me think of this because if you're not showing your full capabilities and your full wisdom in front of a stranger, then they're at least operating from a place where even if they gain a victory, they're going to also gain defeat. So you're at least on a level playing field. If you're letting them know you without getting to know them, you're giving up your power, and they're going to get to a point where they don't have to fear the outcome of 100 battles. So, and this may seem extreme, like, oh, this isn't, we're just talking about meeting people and strangers, but there is such thing as a dominance hierarchy, and if you watch Dr. Jordan Peterson, you know how prevalent that is in society. And by giving your power away, you're making sure that you're dropping in the dominance hierarchy and staying low, so it's not useful. Similarly, in book 1, one of the very first verses of the Art of War is, all warfare is based on deception. And we live in a society where honesty is valued, and it is. But that doesn't mean you have to. It doesn't mean you have to go around telling all of your secrets, everything about yourself to everyone, because that's not helpful. There are people out there that are going to use that against you, that want to harm you, that don't have your best interest at heart. So why give them power willingly and freely? So that's a lot of what I took from this verse, that just, watch yourself and be conscious of where you are and how much of yourself you give to people that you don't know.
Fantastic. I don't think I have much more to add to that. Love the Sun Tzu reference. You don't get enough of those. Yeah, I suppose it's one of those books that big CEOs have in their
for sure.
have in their desks. Though it's old, but it's very, very good book of wisdom, much like this one, I think. No, that's fantastic. It's something about keeping your cards close to your chest. Just that general idea that you should keep some things to yourself, not out of necessarily any desire to hold back intentionally. I don't think that's the nuance here, but it's to guard yourself. And it's really also, the idea that you're silent when it comes to a stranger's home. That's again just listening, paying attention. If you listen more than you talk, then that's just going to work out for you, I think, is the idea that they're hammering home here. And there's certainly a time to talk and to add to the conversation and whatnot, but it should not be boastful. And humility, I think, is actually something that's coming up more than I thought. Just the general idea that you should be humble with what you know. In fact, I think another idea is that you should assume that the person you're talking to knows something that you don't. And I mean, if both people go into a conversation that way, there's going to be a lot of listening and a lot of good exchange of information, which is something, again, just so emphasized here. But it's really just not revealing your strengths if you don't have to, and if you talk a lot, you're revealed. It's sort of the flip side of the previous stanza, actually. Like getting laughed at the table. If you talk too much, if you try to do too much to fit in, you'll be revealed as an ignorant loser, for lack of a better term,
for
honestly.
Sure.
But no, and it's just hammering the idea on the head that you should be seeking wisdom in general, right? So it's seek wisdom, guard it, give it out sparingly. Some good things, to say the least. So